am Shaggy Philalitheia. I am walking home and I was reliving today's stupid arguments. So I'm going to share them with you rather than just talk about them to myself. I'm also walking very slowly down this hill because the ground is very wet and soft and I am going to fall. So the first stupid argument that I got in today, they're always on Twitter. I'm on Twitter, for those of you who use Twitter. I'm S. Philalitheia. You can find me at S. Philalitheia, or you can find it at Shaggy Philalitheia, because that's what I call myself. But I use Twitter to keep myself sharp when I'm bored. I go on there and I see what interesting things are happening. They're never as interesting as I hope. And then I end up arguing with people to keep myself sharp. And this Lily Phillips thing, yeah, we're going to talk about prawn, has got people out in numbers against prawn again. And the people defending prawn are saying that women can consent, and they're surprised that people think that a woman cannot consent to prawn, that it's always exploitation. And it's like, okay, this conversation is decades long, and I understand that Twitter isn't about the meta, and it's not about understanding the conversation, but Matt Walsh's stupid fucking ass had better know, in my opinion, the meta conversation before he opens his fucking mouth. Yeah, Matt Walsh's stupid ass was saying that women can consent to porn, to which I said, well, the philosophical argument has always been that there's no ethical consenting to prawn because there's too much outside the control of the performers, especially the women, too much outside their control in the business for them to ethically consent to what's going to happen the first time. The first time. Yeah, the first time is what the argument is about. I tell you, I heard it recently in an old great lectures course, actually. I was listening to a great lectures course on the history of philosophy, philosophical arguments, and consent is an old philosophical argument, because the question used to be whether one could consent to being governed. Can you consent to government? And then the argument became about consenting to sexual liaison, and whether specifically women can consent to sexual liaison. But that part of the conversation has only been since about 2006, because my generation, the girls in my generation, kept getting themselves gang rapid at fucking frat parties. And then going, well, I didn't know frat boys were pervs. I didn't know it was going to happen. And causing Ivy League lawsuits. I don't know how everybody forgot about this. Malcolm Gladwell, is that his name? The Canadian journalist who writes for, I think he writes for the New York Times, or the New Yorker maybe? Yeah, Malcolm Gladwell, that's his name. He made a book about it. He did a whole podcast about it. How have we forgotten? And the answer is, of course, is that the social dialogue happening on Twitter isn't trying to remain in context of the greater argument, because my generation believes that they are reinventing the wheel. And so the social media argument starts at the social media argument as it's being had. There's no context allowed because there's no actual dialogue happening. There's no the people doing these arguments are making money off of arguing. You can't see my face, and that's whatever for me. But these people making these bad faith arguments are making money off the argument, off the position, off the platform. They're not lobbying government to make anything happen. They're entertaining. They're being entertaining arguers. And the thing about that is a useful idiot. Everybody who works for the Daily Wire, the Jordan Peterson, Jordan, I don't know all their names. Every one of them is a useful idiot. They're all useful idiots. They're all paid to repeat old arguments like they're new because you don't know they're old. So that was the first stupid argument I got in today. Somebody tried to tell me that that's not the philosophical argument. I'm like, look, I'm not making an argument of my own. I'm not making my own opinion. I'm not stating my platform. I'm stating that the philosophical argument has always been that. You don't get to act surprised that 100 years of argument happened before you. Porn didn't just suddenly start happening because of this Lily Phillips girl. OnlyFans didn't suddenly become a big thing because of her. These things have developments. They're whatever. Stupid argument I got in. And that shit pisses me off, and it gets under my skin, and I get to thinking about it all day, dwelling on it. And the thing that bugs me, and the reason that I don't talk about it, and I just get stoned and play Hearthstone and try not to think about it, other than it being the weekend, and me not getting paid to do this. No one's going to watch this and then hit me and actually pay me because I brought to their attention that this conversation is 100 years old and has decades of context in it, and centuries. This argument's centuries long. Because porn is only one. It's only one expression of sexuality that also has money tied up in it. It's only one outlet of prostitution, and there are so many now. So many. And there have always been so many expressions and outlets for prostitution. Women gotta make money, y'all. Women gotta eat and live. Like, there's this idea among the modern feminists that every woman before 1920 lived as a noble, that every woman was rich, and every woman was taken care of, and that no women had to work. And it's like, none of you have watched Les Mis? I know all of you have watched Les Mis. Women used to sell their teeth, people. Women gotta eat too. And the thing about women is they can't fight. So they can't just join a military and get paid. They can't just join a police force and get paid in food. Women got to do something. And if they don't have a husband because of whatever reason, that's why God repeatedly says that your responsibility is to the widow and the unmarried woman. Because life's hard for women. Because women can't just go and move rocks. I mean, that's what the book of Ruth is about. How hard it is to be a woman. So that was stupid argument one that I got into today. I'm trying to remember exactly how stupid argument. Oh, and okay, so because of that, now the Sydney Sweeney, there's this paparazzi series of pictures of Sydney Sweeney looking just awful, in an ill-fitting bra and matching bra and panties set out on the patio or something like that, and women are just all up in arms that this is what normal women look like, and they keep making the argument that prawn has confused us about what women look like, and I'm just like, somebody doesn't know what they're talking about. Somebody doesn't watch prawn. Somebody hasn't done any research, because somebody's never heard of SSBBW. That's real. Somebody's never heard of feeding and eating, because that's real. She's just a normal skinny girl. Sure, you can make that argument. She's in her mid-20s. She is skinny fat, which means that she does drink too much. That means she does purge, and that her body's all lumpy, and that her skin is so many different colors. It's modeled like that. It means she's unwell. It means she's not taking care of herself. And at the amount of money that she makes, her job is to take care of herself. And so there's this idea in the last, what, 5 years, 6 years, that all prawn girls are fitness models. And that's just not what prawn's actually like. If you've been paying attention to what's going on in prawn the last 20 years, the move has been away from the fitness model and the tall, statuesque blonde and the girl who stays fit on the stripper pole between scenes, because those women are unstable. The women they've been leaning on are just normal women who don't have obsessive behaviors. Don't eat too much, don't drink too much, don't purge, don't do drugs. Just normal chicks who have normal lives and also happen to do prawn. That's been the shift for the last 20 years. And then OnlyFans gives you this idea like the girls who are making money on OnlyFans are fitness models, and they're not. The girls who are making money on OnlyFans are normal girls, just normal girls. And that's why they're making money. Because what men want to do is elevate normal, neurotypical, and socially normalized women out of poverty in marriage. And because they're not allowed to be married anymore, they just go to cam girls and OnlyFans girls and throw them money so that maybe they don't have to do the OnlyFans or the camming anymore. And most girls don't stick around. The statistics for pornography are very much like the NFL. Like, we're talking about 1, maybe 2 years of retention. Like 7 years is an extremely long prawn career. These aren't careers. This is a get-rich-quick scheme. It's just something you do to make a lot of money fast so you can transition to your Act 2 in your 20s. The problem is that they're not opening businesses with that money. That's why the conservatives are upset, and that's why people now are trying to make this sexist thing again. They're trying to make it about gender equality or sexism, and then you get arguments like conservatives saying that men don't dress provocatively. They don't go out in public in the nude or the semi-nude in the same way that women do. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. No, that's just not true. Men go out topless all the time. That right there is a homosexual that stays away from men because he's attracted to them. You understand what I'm saying? This is a person who has no idea that gym culture exists. No idea that gym culture exists, but he's going to talk about women being evil because they wear yoga pants. And it's like, you've never seen what men wear? Okay, whatever. Stupid argument, but I'm going to obsess over it. I was going to obsess over it because I have no other outlet. I have no one who agrees with me that I can go, God, these people are so stupid. Can we please talk about things that aren't so fucking dumb? Can we at least, if you don't know, can we at least talk about the context and the history? Can we at least make the conversation interesting? We don't all the time have to be making hot takes, because you're not going to get canceled anymore. Cancel culture's over. And so, yeah, I understand that there are people, especially legacy Twitter users, who now that cancel culture is over, they have all this pent up hot take rage. Shut the fuck up. Live a normal life. Talk about shit that matters. Or here's an even better idea. Get the fuck off Twitter. Stop trying to make ad revenue. Stop trying to generate ad revenue. Just stop. Stop. Do things that make sense. Ugh. I say, doing a live stream from a tent, holding a camp light to my face because it's dark out, and I have obsessive thoughts that I need to shake. I get so fucking tired. And the third stupid argument I got in today, and I just had to, yeah, you've got access to me on Patreon. You don't need access to me on Twitter anymore. It's just yet another accusation that I'm not actually fucking homeless. Like, how do you get off saying the things that you say and then being skeptical about me? Idiots. God. And see, Jesus is right. There's no amount of forgiving you that's going to make you stop. And so I'm just back to blocking donors as a sign of virtue. Like, fuck. Can't you be human? Well, no, you can't. Your diet doesn't allow you to be anything other than an idiot animal. But like the Dunning-Kruger to not know what you don't know, to be unaware that there are things you don't know. And then to accuse me of not actually, and then to admit that you forgot. How do you forget? The fuck is wrong with you? I mean. What, you think I sit in this tent? You think I make these videos because I think it's fun? Because I've what? And so now we're back to reach. Who fucking cares what my reach is? What does it matter? Why? So you can take the win of... But you don't. You don't make a living selling anything on Amazon. How the fuck are you gonna tell me that I'm nobody unless I'm also publishing my work on Amazon? Fuck Amazon. My work isn't books. I'm not writing. What the fuck do you think I'm writing? When I say I'm journaling, seriously, what do you think I'm doing? Do you think I'm just... What? What do you think? How do you... You don't. You just say dumb shit, and then you expect me to just forgive you for saying a dumb thing because you didn't realize you don't know it's dumb. Because your diet doesn't allow you to realize you're dumb. But how do you live like that and then denigrate that I'm trying to teach you how to not be that way? Denigrate me. I call myself a behavioral life coach on Twitter because, yeah, I'm coaching you how to behave better. And it will make your life more livable. I don't understand the people who give me money and then reject me. Why would you do that? Why do that? What is that? What's that about? What is that? Somebody explain that to me. I'm serious. What's that about? Why would you do... Why? Why blow smoke up my ass? What's the point? What's the point? It doesn't make you a good person. It might make you feel good once or twice. But the space between? All the shit that you put me through between? How does it make you feel better? Are you really just chasing pleasure like that? Just everything you do How can you call yourself the things you call yourself and be an unthinking, unself-critical hedonist? How? I would love, I mean, I'm not going to do it, so don't teach me how to do it. Like, but how do you do it? What's the algorithm? I would hate myself. I would be unable to live with myself if I saw myself doing any of the things I see 99% of you doing. How do you do it? How do you live with yourself? How do you look in a mirror and go and not think of all the shitty things you say and do? How? Is it the alcohol? Is it that you just drown it in alcohol? Is it the diet? You just drown it in protein and meat protein, so you just can't think about it? You're just too starved? Too nutrient deficient? Too drunk? Or did you just don't practice? And so you just tell yourself, well, that's not a skill I have, so it's not a skill I'm ever going to have because I made it this far without it. So many people do that. Well, I made it this far. I don't need it. Okay. I mean, you're not wrong. Our species evolved to die by 25, but you think you're better than everyone in history who survived to 25 before the 1970s? Do you really? Why? It's like I'm watching these girls vandalize some art piece because they're mad at Russia and the UN. And this girl's too weak to even use the chainsaw in a way that could actually damage the thing. She's already tired minutes into holding it. She can barely lift it enough to push it, and you didn't think for a second that maybe you wanted to train with the chainsaw before you did that? You didn't think maybe you should practice once? You just thought, oh no, I'm a girl. I can definitely do a chainsaw. It does the work for you. You don't have to push or anything. It just, you touch a surface with it and it just pulls itself like a vacuum. Because men's tools are like women's tools. Oh geez. How do you not know about labor-saving devices in the 1950s? And that there's a whole, there were whole inventions, whole markets of male researchers trying to figure out how to make women's lives as easy as possible. How do you not know this? I don't know what to do with you. It's like I want to invite you into my tent to have bread and to talk and to learn and to grow. And then I get into these stupid arguments. And I'm just like, yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm not making enough money in donations to even matter to make it worth it. I'm not making enough in positive reinforcement and comments and likes and follows. And then I go, no, because it's not about them and it's not about you. It's about the message, and it's about God. And so I just remind myself to, well, when you're having an obsessive thought, just open the thing and be mad into the camera. Because you're not mad at the people you're talking to, and you're clearly reaching out. Clearly reaching out. I don't understand how people don't see that I'm reaching out for help. I just don't understand you. I just don't understand. But I'm grateful for you. Grateful that you're here. I don't know why you're here. I don't think you understand that I'm selling a product. I don't think you understand that I'm selling a way of life. and a worldview and a habit. I don't know, man. I don't know. I could show you the way to everything you want. But you go, well, he's homeless. What does he know about what I want and how to get it? And it's like, I've got everything I want. I've got everything I want but an audience. See, you can't build an audience. Not really. These people take credit. They take credit for what you're doing and you're not mad about it. That's what gets me. That's what... I did this all on my own. The fuck you did. The fuck you did. Someone had to bring their friends. Someone had to shout you out. Someone had to bring you on their show. Someone had to pat you on the back and tell you that you were worth it and that you were loved and that you have a skill set that is valuable and that you're worth it. You're worthy. You don't find success in this world or any other without an army of people at your back supporting you. Maybe that's my unique management training perspective from working at Sonic. But if you're familiar with the Sonic Drive-In fast food corporation, they give you mints with every meal. And if you were to ask why, they'll tell you why. The owner, the founder, the establisher of Sonic said that every single customer is worth a mint. Because they're literally printing money for your business. And so they're worth it. They're worth not just the free candy, but they're worth the reminder that they're valuable in their own rights. Not just their satisfaction, but their comfort, their glee, their joy. I don't know, man. I don't know. There are days where I feel like this just isn't working. It's just not working. I should just walk away. And then there are days where it's not like that at all. I know Twitter isn't working. Twitter is just the fucking worst. But I gotta remind people that, I have expenses. I don't have expenses, but I do. I have Panera. But so long as my Patreon subscribers that I have now don't unsub, I can meet that. Can't afford my cigarettes and my weed without donations, though. So it's not mine. I can't afford the cigarettes and the weed without donations. Let me tell you, the time is so boring. I get so bored. So I'm gonna do more. I'm gonna do more gaming. I'm gonna do more gaming streams. The Talking to the Future channel will just have to. It'll just have to wait until enough of you sub over to it too, because I can't live stream from it. I didn't understand how that worked when I made that, so I'm not starting over. That's for sure. But just play Hearthstone, and if misplay actually makes it so where I can make money that way, I'll go back to playing misplay. And if you do misplay, let me send you my friend thing so you can help me make money that way. That'd be cool of you. Maybe I just need to make a Discord. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. Tell me. I wish somebody would tell me what I'm doing wrong in an A, unaggressive, and B, way that I can actually see, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you'll pay me, yeah, that makes sense. If that's what it'll take for you to actually follow through and pay me, and none of this, well, if it were this price, if it were that price, look, I'm affordable. Figure that out. I'm not haggling with you. Not over a donation, not over a Patreon sub. That's insane. That's what a stupid person would do, and I'm not doing that. I'm not stupid. Like, the one thing I'm not. I'm a lot of things. But the one thing I'm just not is stupid. I keep thinking about how Justin Martyr, he just says it outright. That the feminine cults, the mystery cults of Rome and the wider Mediterranean were evil eugenics cults. I don't think anybody knows what eugenics is anymore. I don't think anybody knows what that is. I think they succeeded. They got you so wrapped up in believing that things like gay marriage and pornography are important. Whether transgenders are or are not, whatever. You just don't know anything. You don't know why it's bad to design babies. You don't know the real reason that the transgender argument is even happening. You don't understand that you don't even know what eugenics are. You don't know there are people who are literally trying to tamper with the genome, with the human species, so that rich people are a different species. They can't interbreed with us. Just use us as sex toys. You have no idea. And you would call me insane and say, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. No. No, Justin Martyr was talking about it in the 5th century and they killed him for it. That's why his name is Martyr. You just don't know. You don't know why you should be interested. You think that that stuff is for specialist experts and that it's just a curiosity from the past. You don't even know who should be the experts. You don't even know what makes an expert an expert. And I'm just sitting here like, I just don't know what to do with you. So I've just been reminding myself of why I started this. I started this cognizant that if everything does come crashing down, someone needs to know this stuff. Someone needs to know how to be able to write well enough to make something new when it's over, and how to survive the worst of it. And so here I am, an ascetic, a monk, meditating in my tent, tabernacle, in the woods. It's been 34 minutes. Thank you for being here. I feel better. So disappointed. God, you don't understand. I thought adulthood was standing around smoking rooms, talking about important shit. I did not realize until my 30s that everybody is just fucked up all the time. And if they're sober now, they're so fucking broken from all the dumb shit they put their nervous system through when they were in their 20s that they're just useless. God. I want that world. I want the world where adults are adults and they can talk to one another. It's so stupid. I want a world where we know how to think. I want to go back to not talking about religion, sex, and politics in public. If that's not your job, you just don't need to be talking about it. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You're just generating ad revenue. You useful idiot. Why do you want to be useful to these people? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It doesn't make you rich. You don't get in the club. You don't get to... You're not going to make enough money to be a lobbyist. And you're not going to make a business. So to what end? A couple of tens of grand? You can't even buy a car. Why? To what end? I just told you my ends. Make adults again. All this, I had to do laundry. So now I'm going to slip into a manic depressive malaise for a month and not wash my hair or wash my ass. And I'm going to show up to work every day late because I did laundry. Fuck you. There's almost no effort involved. Fold your shit. Put it away. Fuck. God, I struggled with that shit because nobody would call me out on it. And I'm just like, well, fuck, if nobody gives a shit, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to be the only one. Every job I've ever left, I've just, you know what, fuck this. I'm not going to be the only one. Fuck this. Fuck upholding a standard that nobody upholds. And then you know what happens? The business almost always closes. It's like the kids in Panera. They always tell me to have a good night 3 minutes before I'm going to leave. And then they stand there between me and the door. It's like, I'm not leaving yet. Just because you said goodbye, you don't have the authority to ask me to leave an hour before close. You're just not socially normalized. You don't understand that what you say to end a conversation with a customer is, thank you. All right, thank you. And then you leave. It's like the bus drivers, the first time I was on the bus during a shift change. She goes, all right, thank you. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I get to sit here until the bus leaves again. And she goes, okay, thank you. And I was like, oh, shit, do I have to leave? And she's like, yeah, we're at shift change. She didn't say, okay, have a good day. Get off the bus. She said, thank you. You don't follow someone around going, okay, have a good day. And you definitely don't say it 4 times. I had a guy do that when I was at Starbucks. He, on Thanksgiving, they decided without telling me when I was buying my drink that they were going to close earlier than their hours. All she had to do is go, hey, we're actually going to close in 5 minutes. No, they waited. And so the kid comes out and he goes, hey, have a good day. And I was like, what, are you leaving? You didn't serve me or anything. And he goes, no, have a good day. And I was like, do I have to leave? And he goes, yeah, we're closing. And I was like, oh, well, nobody told me, and your hours say what they say. And now he's like, well, have a good day, because he thinks that I'm arguing with him. And it's like, bro, what you say is, hey, we've decided to close early. We know that you're charging your phone. We're sorry for the inconvenience, but thank you for coming in. We'll see you next time. And then when my stuff is all packed up and I'm ready to go and I'm walking out the door, then you say, hey, thank you. Have a good day. Jesus fucking Christ. Have a good day means goodbye. Like, you know that, right? You wouldn't say goodbye, 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 goodbye to someone who's standing there not leaving. You just wouldn't do that. And so you don't even know that you're not socially normalized. You think that you're actually more socially normalized than in, I don't know, the 13th century, because you just don't know any better. You don't know anything. You just don't know anything. And I don't know what to do with you, because I don't know how to tell who knows anything, because the people who front like they know anything are the people who know the least. And the people who go, well, I know what it was like. Do you? You don't act like it. But who am I? I'm only the ultimate locker room guy. I would watch these. That's the thing. Is like, I watch some of these, and I would just watch it. So I don't know. I just don't know, man. I don't know. It's that I've got taste. Like, we can't talk about Game of Thrones, because if you wanted to be like, well, let's talk about Game of Thrones, I would just be like, yeah, it's bad. And you'd be like, well, everything I like about it, yeah, all of that's bad. All of that's trash. That's all bottom of the barrel. It's like I'm getting in this argument with an agent on Twitter, a literary agent. And I'm like, yeah, she keeps bragging about how she Googles the people who apply to her. And it's like, yeah, that's your only job. Your only job is to vet them, to make sure they're worthy of potentially generational wealth. As an agent, that's literally your only job. Your only job. And she goes, well, I've got other jobs, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bitch. She's like, well, and I'm like, look, nobody that you're representing would impress me. The sales numbers from the people that you represent just would not impress me. You don't have Stephen King. You don't have Dean Koontz. You don't have anybody like that. You have to brag about Googling your clients. You don't. You're nobody. And she goes, well, I'm that. And I'm like, bitch, you're fucking talking to me on Twitter. You are the bottom of the barrel. Fuck. Like, if even I'm going, yeah, that's an agent that just could not represent me. You're the bottom of the barrel. I'm homeless and rejecting you. I think that's what it comes down to, though. I think that's what it comes down to. Is I'm homeless. And I'm rejecting something. I'm rejecting someone. But I'm talking to you, so it can't be you. Unless you're stupid enough to think that I'm pushing you away. I've been accused of that. How does that make sense? Why? Are you one of those liquids that under pressure turns into a solid? How does that work? If I push you away as somebody who needs your money, how does that work? It doesn't. That's projection. You're pushing me away because you know I need your money, and you know I deserve it. You know I'm better than the trash you watch and give your money to. And so, yeah, if I'm pushing you, it's to be better. It reminds me of my dad. I played baseball for one season. I fucking hated it. But I had an infield home run lined up. I nailed that fucking ball. And my dad, third base coach, for whatever fucking reason there are base coaches in baseball. I just never understood that shit, but I guess I'm too smart for baseball. Baseball's a fucking stupid game. Anyway, as I'm rounding third base, my dad fucking shoved me. So I fell. Yeah, I'm not pushing you. Challenging you. I'm not pushing you. That would be stupid. Because if you're already going away from me as fast as you can, you're gonna fall. And then everybody's gonna think you're stupid. Why would I do that? Why would I set you up for failure like that? What am I, a woman?